All right, guys, welcome back. We're diving back into another Arvon beer. It is Green Lazer, a West Coast pale ale. Almost looks like a treehouse beer. Super crazy. It looks like green or something, or green, if you know what I'm saying. You recognize that label. I like it. It sticks out in the crowd. We have a 5.5% ABV West Coast pale ale, hopped exclusively with Citra hops. I freaking love Citra. If you saw my last review, well, not my last one, but it was a little bit back now, I guess, was the Zombie Ice. Dude, those Citra hops slapped differently. It was like one of the best beers I've ever had. Citra is weird because new school Citra to me tastes too bright and too like cat pissy compared to like the old school, and that Zombie Ice really reflected like old school IPA. Like there's something different, man. I don't know what it is or what's different about the recipes, but I hope this reminds me more of the old school Citra hops. Let's put it that way. So again, only 5.5%, but I love this label. I do not see a canned on date, but I know this is a fresh drop from Arvon, so we're gonna go ahead and excuse it, even though I think you really need to put a canned on date on. So let's go to a pour. And being West Coast, only 5.5%. It's pretty light. They play with the styles though, so I think that's pretty cool. So, as we pour, man, love it already. We've got that like little light, biscuity golden amber, I would say. It's a little bit more orangey on camera, but to me it looks a little bit lighter than that. But I would say there's a nice pillowy head sitting on top, actually not too sticky to the glass. It's sliding around really easily. Yeah, it's got moderate carbonation, moderate to low. Let's go to an aroma. And while you can hear Knox chewing on his bone, I apologize. Wow. So it is that like bright, orangey kind of marmalade vibe. It's got a little bit of like a tinge of grapefruit, soft lemon zest. Man, what is it? It almost smells like it's going to be like maltier West Coast, like a syrupy orange malt, like with a touch of like caramel malt. It has that West Coast smell to it, like it's going to be like a 9% double or something. But it also is very like easy. It's very easygoing and soft on the nose as well. So it's got both qualities, almost like it's going to be a huge beer at the same time. It seems light and refreshing. But it really does have that maltier, heavy, caramely, orange vibe to it, like a huge stone beer or something like that. So let's dive in. We're not going to get too much more in depth here about the nose. Green Lazer, let's see what it is, Arvon. Yeah. Okay. So the Citra, certainly not cat pissy. It's not too zippy or zingy. It's not so fruit forward that it's just like a New England style blowout where your palate's just going to be shot. It's going to be, there's no way you're finishing this beer. This does have more of that old school zombie dust Citra hops to it. And it does have like that more caramel malty body that seems to be a little bit watered down because it's only 5.5%. So it does have a nice stone, Escondido vibe here going on, while at the same time maintaining that light ABV, drinking more like a pale ale / lager kind of thing going on. Kind of best of both worlds. So let's dive in and see if we can get some other notes here. It is strange because it has that that caramel, little bit of biscuity malt through the middle that does thicken the body up, but it's so light that it's like misleading because it's not so hefty through the middle. It's very easy going on the palate. And then you get that nice dose of bitterness and pine on the back end. A little bit of that resiny, dank, weedy thing. But it's very overshadowed, I guess, by the Citra hops. So it's got that fruit forwardness that kind of dissipates through that watery middle. A little bit of that caramel malt, and then you get hit with that nice dose of pine and bitterness on the back end. But there is some sort of like orange marmalade, like peachy thing in here that reminds me of Citra. Maybe like a little dank passion fruit, slight undertone, but it's very hidden underneath the maltiness. It's good beer. I mean, I could see this being a go-to for some people. This one, for me, is solid. I wouldn't say it's like incredibly delicious or tasty. Like there's just still something about like zombie dust that I just like simply more than this beer for whatever reason. The Citra just hits different. The recipe's just a little bit different. I'm just comparing it to something I've had recently that it was all Citra hops. but it has its similarities too. It's fruity and zippy, a little bit malty. It's a solid beer. Like I enjoy it. I could come back to this no problem. A little bit of that honey pine sitting there underneath. Pretty tasty beer. I could put this down too. Like the more I'm talking to you guys, it's getting better. Like I'm enjoying it more as I'm sipping it as I continue to put this glass to my mouth. Yeah, man, it's like some form of like a stone beer in zombie dust. Like it's somewhere in the middle, but being 5.5%, it's closer to that zombie dust. It's good. It's really good. Trying to decide what I want to rate this for you guys. Yeah, it's getting better as I drink it too. Like I feel like my rating's increasing as I'm going here. Touch watered down. It seems a little lacking through the middle. Yeah, I'd be happier if this was like 6.2%. Like if it was just a little bit more hefty. But hey, drinkability's it's on point too. So let's go with a 3.99 out of 5. That's just where I'm sticking today, guys. It's just right under that 4 threshold. I feel like if it had a little bit more body, a little bit more completeness to it, I would rate it higher. It just seems a little lacking through the middle, and there's just something about it that's missing. It's just missing a component. So that's where I am. It's my opinion. It's for entertainment purposes only. So guys, it is what it is. Green Lazer, thanks for being here. I'm Dan. Catch you on the next review. Cheers.